One of my favorite stories from a speech. I was speaking in Miami. A pastor friend had said, "Hey, will you come and speak in my church? There's 4 services, right?" And I'm like, "Sure, that's easy." Speaking 4 times in a row for an hour, it was exhausted. Yeah. I got to the end of this and said, I'm wiped out. It was not in a wealthy community, so nobody gave money. So I just felt like I poured my guts out for no good reason on a Sunday, except a favor, for someone I'd met once, and nothing happened. Nothing happened a year later, nothing happened a year later, nothing happened a year later. A few years later, I think it was 4 years later, $100,000 check arrives in the office. Wow. And it turns out that someone heard me speak that night, went home and changed his will. He died of cancer 4 years later. And he had written us that night into his will for $100,000, 10 communities. Gets even better. The family turns up. I'm like, we don't really know anything about this organization. So they come up to New York. They get so involved, they've now given hundreds of thousands of dollars. Wow. So that one of those 4 speeches that had no impact at the time, 4 years later, is going to impact tens of thousands of lives, maybe hundreds of thousands of lives. This family now wants to host us and bring us into their community. And so you have these moments that you just really, you hold on to and say, I don't need to measure the impact from a speech in the moment or even in a half decade anymore, because you never know how long it might take for that seed to grow